Well, hello there, YouTube. Welcome to a long-lost Sunday ride on the iron. Now, I'm truly going to regret this, because as we're rolling along here, there is crap flinging up everywhere. Because it's been on again, off again dumps here. But I've got a 17-minute window, which is probably less than that now. Just getting ready, you know, before the next rainstorm comes. I almost took off that was about an hour and a half ago, and as I'm getting ready, I decided to do one quick look at my AccuWeather thing, and it says rain in 11 minutes. And I look out, and you can see it's coming from the northwest side, so it's like a northeast wind, I guess you could say. Oh, look at that, the road's still wet. Oh no, this is really gonna be messy. Nothing like riding through mud and then getting on a wet road. I try to my tires are cold, so I can't go willy-nilly. Ooh, it's cold too. Oh man. Oh God, does it feel good to get on this little iron though. But look at this, there's sunshine and blue skies. And even though there's some rain a-coming, I decided to take you guys for a little spin. I haven't taken you on a Sunday iron ride in, well, it's been 35 days today since I rode the iron last. Is that hard to believe? It's almost been 5 weeks. How is that even possible? Wow, even with as well as a helmet breeze with no fairing or anything. Well, I guess that cowling keeps the air off of my chin vent, which is kind of covered by the camera anyway, so I'm trying to minimize the noise that you guys are hearing. I threw that BRP backpack on, and there's literally not a single thing in it. It's completely empty. I'm carrying it or wearing it because I got to pick up something from Kelly from the store on the way back through. But yeah, 35 days since I've ridden the iron. And wow, the last time I rode, today is Sunday the 15th. And the last time I rode was well, it's the videos I just put out, the two street glide videos, and that was last Monday. So basically it's been a week since I've ridden literally anything. No test rides, no nothing. I didn't ride a single bike last week. How crazy is that? Just the things I was doing didn't require a test ride. Seems like I test rode something. There was something, yeah, there's, you know, I think about it, there's a couple of, I think I did some services on spiders, and you have to test ride them after you do that. Anything that's going directly back to the customer's hands, even if it just unrelated whatever, you need to ride them. It's kind of our safety inspection procedure. You don't want to, even if they've just rode it in, you don't ever, got an animal down out there. Oh, it's on his feet. It's a cow. I don't know if you can see that group of people around that cow, but it was on the ground. All of a sudden it jumped up. So that's what's coming at me. So I only have a few minutes before that hits. And man, I should have thrown my rain pants on, because that is cold on my legs. It's 44 when I left the house. So I didn't want to wear my first gear jackets because I just feel like a blimp in them. It's not that they're tight, it's just that they're thick. And you feel like you put on some kind of a some kind of a costume suit or something. I mean, they're very nice and very warm and all that kind of good jazz, but they're just so big and cumbersome. You know, and I really feel that way when I wear the Kathmandu from First Gear. It's a real light gray, and at a glance it almost has a white look to it, but it's actually it's just a light colored gray. But that thing is huge, so I can I can actually wear a light coat underneath it if I needed to, or a sweatshirt or something like that to like bundle yourself up. And that works great for those super cold rides. And you know, it keeps me warm, and it's 100% waterproof. There's that mystery station. You guys have never seen that before. I go to these things so often in my vlogs, I'm thinking, people got to think I'm crazy. Man, look how sharp and clear the sky is. All that rain just keeps it so pretty out here. But here's something I haven't done. I literally haven't taken the whole road loop since August. Is that crazy or what? So after my first failed attempt because the rain came, it's a good thing I stopped. I told you guys about an hour and a half ago, almost went, because after I decided them black clouds looked too threatening, I went back in, sat down at the desk, and literally moments later, I've literally been outside warming the bike up when it hit. And it hit with a hailstorm, or a sleet storm, I guess I should say. It wasn't really hail. But around here in the Northwest, a lot of times they consider that hail. I go, you haven't seen hail. I grew up in the South when baseballs fall out of the sky and golf balls and things of that nature. That's hail. This is sleet. Yes, and I'm driving very timidly. I don't know. The last time this thing was ridden, it was all nice and warm out. I don't know how hot the tires got last time I rode it, because tires heat up, and when they sit there, the oil comes to the surface, so they can be quite slippery right at first. I don't know if you guys know that or not, especially sport bike guys that are that really get your tires hot on the edges. Man, if you break out for one of those winter rides, be very careful, because even though it doesn't look like it's got an oily film on the tire, it very well can. It pulls the heat, kind of pulls the oils out to the surface, and depending on how hot you got the tire, you may see it. Hey, look at that. That was my sixth gear that was actually there this time. Really, I was in fourth and I found fifth, but it was one of those times where I feel like I need to shift, but I don't think there's another gear there. Turns out there was. But yeah, tires, I've gone down a couple of times for that very reason. And after the first time, I knew exactly what caused it, and then I was dumb enough to go out and do it again. But I thought I had already ridden it enough that I would have kind of washed that stuff off out of the way, and I didn't. So my CB1100F was the second time. And you guys remember the story of me, the police officer telling me to push that thing all the way back to my house, and then when I got out of sight, I jumped on it and rushed home. And then in my fear, I hit some junk in the front street where the garbage truck had stopped and picked up our garbage cans, and he must have went through one of his squishing procedures, and something oozed out on the ground, and I hit it, and she spun like a top right there in front of my house. So anyway, when I went down on it, I was driving through the streets of Longview, and took a left-hand turn, and whoop, bang, down I went. Well, she spun like a top on that one that time as well, but it was a little higher speed. Didn't hurt much, just the typical scuffs and scratches. And I don't think it did anything to me. It probably scratched up a pair of blue jeans and probably knocked the elbows out of a coat or something. I don't recall getting hurt at all, so I just remember going down. Whee! It feels great out here. Hey, my thermometer is showing it's 50 degrees. There's no way it warmed up just moving over here. I'm telling you, it don't feel as cold either. Hey there, old moo cow. This backpack feels like I got a little miniature parachute on my back. There's no weight in it. The wind's catching underneath it. The old whole road run. That should be a project for this winter as well, is repacking my Rush mufflers, because they've lost their nice deep sound they used to have, and I think the packing is blown out of it. I don't know how many, good Lord, how many miles did I have on this thing when I put those on. I'll have to see the documentation. I got 7148 on it now, so it's what, 4,000 miles probably. And goofing around doesn't hurt it. It's those long 75-80 mile an hour runs down the freeway going to work. And it was one day, and I hadn't ridden this thing in a while. One day I drove it to work, and when I got to Vancouver, and I'm kind of driving down 4th Plain, that last little road I go before work, and I'm like, God, man, this thing is way louder than what it was. I think either I grouped up all the packing and pushed it to the back, which is common. Usually when you pull them baffles out, you know, the baffle may be this long and it's got packing all the way down it, and you like wire it down. Well, it starts to break down. Once it does, it'll all group, because it thins out and actually escapes out the exhaust, you know. But it'll all end up grouping down at the bottom, and you'll see half or less than half of the muffler has packing on it anymore. Oh, that green moss down there, man, that's stuff you gotta be careful around here, because that's about the equivalent of me jumping off the road and going flying out in that guy's grass field out there. And any of you guys that's taken a street bike onto grass, or you run off in the grass or something of that nature, street tires have no traction on grass. Nothing. Really, you have to have some big old swampers on there to have traction in grass, or like knobbies on a dirt bike. I mean, anything shy of that, it's slippery. So I wonder if they've done anything with this house that burnt down. It still has the for sale sign sitting out front. Now it's got a different realtor on it as well. Auction.com. She is literally untouched. I mean, what are you going to do to it? It's a total loss. What I mean is untouched. You would think they'd come out here and mow it down, at least make the property look like it's worth something. But it's one of those repo jobs that, and they got a huge problem, because that freaking river's underneath there, and you can see where that hill behind that house has moved. Wish you could see through there. I should have brought like my Canon or something with me, so I could at least stop on the side of the road and show you guys what it looks like. The GoPro, you know, its dynamic range is so shallow that there's a spot right here where you can see down. This is it right here. It's so shallow that the bright spot down there is just blown out, and you can't. Now you can see this has got more of a footing at the bottom of it, but back there, that house is literally on a cliff that goes straight down to the water. And I don't know if you have any depth of field with that at all, but it's a long ways down to that water. good 150 feet maybe. It's a long ways down. So I'm not too overly concerned about getting the iron dirty, because I think I washed it one time this year, and that was early in the season. Once the weather got nice, I gave her a good old bath, and I've literally ridden it all summer, and she's between dust and bugs and stuff like that. She's in dire need. She's beyond a wipe down type of a thing. So I figure I got to spend 3 or 4 hours cleaning. Oh, I'll spend easily 4 hours on that Street Glide. I go nuts over that stuff. I always go out with the same intention. I say, well, I'm just going to go out there, you know, knock this stuff down, and then you know, I'll dry her off and come in and just, you know, it's flat black. I don't have to polish anything. So I always think, you know, I'll get it done an hour, hour and a half. And every time it's like 3 or 4 hours later she's done. It's horrible because I can't stop. You know, I got to get in every little nick and corner, because I'm one of these people. I figure it's like, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it right. And you know, initially going out there, I'm gonna give it a quickie. I'm just gonna make it look good. I'm not gonna go into the full detail wash. Nope. It becomes like a restoration wash. She must look like new. And then forever, I'm afraid to ride it. If there's any speck of anything on the ground, or any chance of even a sprinkle, I will not ride it. Look how different that looks here in the... Hell, it's not even winter yet. It's still fall, right? Well, when is winter? Winter's at winter solstice, right? Isn't that the first day of winter? So December, was that around the 22nd or something? Which is also the shortest day of the year. Wow, why does this look so open out here? Oh, look at that. That creek has actually got water flowing through it. You short turning sucker. Look at that. You never see water coming through this thing. Oh man, I wonder if I got enough time to go by Salmon Creek. Wow, that's cool looking. Hope you guys can see that. We're under some crazy flood warnings and stuff. I wasn't thinking I was turning here for a second. Almost rolled on and tried to gain some speed there. Oh, that's what it is. Look how many trees they cut out. They have cut the majority of them trees out. That's why it looks so open right there. Thinning out the herd, I guess. The tree herd. Well, we can... Wow. It looks like the LCD's turning black. Wow. Didn't I have this smart remote last winter? You know what? I didn't. I got that thing earlier this year. Wow, I've never seen the other ones do that. The LCD is getting so cold it's turning black. Wow, that's weird as hell. The other remotes didn't do that. Shit, I must have a half dozen of other remotes. I know I've got 4 for sure, and I think there's 1 or 2 that I can't find. They're probably sitting with my my Hero 2 or something. God, you guys remember the Hero 2s? You had to put the Wi-Fi backpack on it so that you would have Wi-Fi. Oh, that's nice. My shield literally I take a breath and it fogged it up just as I made that turn into the sun. That was uncool. Ooh, that's bright, and I'm not wearing my sunglasses. Oh man, look at them clouds. I've been way too long here. Oh no. Oh no. Holy shit, that looks like it's raining right there. It looks like it's raining at the end of the road here. Oh man, I have no rain gear on of any kind. The only thing waterproof I got on me is these gloves. This Columbia sportswear jacket is rain resistant. It's not waterproof in any way. Man, I may have just made a big goof. Oh, that's pouring down rain. Shit, I might not have time to stop in the store for Kelly either. Oh, look at the rain coming out of that thing. That looks like it's sitting right on top of Toledo. The other thing is I won't be able to stop and put gas in this thing. So I'm going to have to fill up one of my race cans with some super. So I've got a can that's about half full, but it's treated regular. I talk about that in the vlog, but I don't think I ever posted any of that. I went out there I was looking in the gas cans, you know, and after I sit for a few weeks, the fuel level, it's slowly, we're not like California. We don't have, evap systems on our bikes. Well, most of them anyway. So the gas cap vents, and it slowly over time, the fuel slowly goes down in the tanks. And plus it's a few miles from the gas station to my house, so I'll take my race can with treated fuel and I'll top them off. Anyway, I started to do that one day, and Kelly's going, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm topping the tanks off." She goes, "I thought you only put super in those things." I said, "Well, I do." She goes, "Well, that's not super." And I forgot. She reminded me that she went and got that gas for the lawnmower, which I'll go through a whole 5 gallons doing my lawn. And usually there's like a half a gallon or so left at the bottom. But then when I'm done, I'll just top off the lawnmower's tank. I treat the mowers the same as I do the bikes, you want the least amount of air in your tank. And as I've mentioned to you guys, especially the fuel injected bikes, don't go over that neck. There is going to be air left in there. Do not go over that. Because temperature changes or whatever is going to push that thing out of unless you're in California or you have a US bike that's, set up with California emissions. Some of them just are that way now. That if you have a charcoal canister or an evap bottle, you'll push fuel into that charcoal canister and destroy it. It looks like that oh, it's right there in them hills across the freeway though. Man, I don't know if I'll make it in that store now before that hits, because that is right there on them hills, and that is pouring right there. Goofed off too long. Well, I only had 17 minutes, and I went out, pushed the bike out, started it up, went in, put my helmet on, put my gloves on, and took off. So I probably only had about 15 minutes, and I think I've been talking to you guys longer. Yeah, I've been talking to you for 24 minutes. So I've already gone too far. Anyway, I won't say bye now. I'm going to bust out and drop down the hill here, hit the Red Apple grocery store, and grab Kelly some stuff. There's something going on with Kelly, and I'll probably do a daily vlog. Well, I've actually been doing them daily. I haven't been posting them daily, but I've got another channel that There's a link in it if you hit the about on my YouTube thing. You'll see there's a channel called The Smokes. I think I'm gonna start putting up daily vlogs on that. I'm actually working on one from last Sunday right now. The sun started beaming through my window, and Kelly was going out to have a smoke, and I said, hey, would you look at the sidewalk and see if that thing's drying up, see if that sleet and rainstorm drying up. She goes, well, it's just damp, it's not wet anymore, it has that, you know, that damp look. I said, good enough for me, I'm out. So at the time I looked, and I had I think I had 31 minutes until, if you guys don't use that AccuWeather app on your phones, you need to, because that thing will pinpoint where you're at. A lot of those things, like the Weather Channel, it's like the general area. Weather Underground is another one that's really good too, and you can actually pick a station that's around. You have an option of picking up weather station, these private weather stations, and I think AccuWeather is tapping into those, so it knows just where you're at. So what's going on here in Toledo and what's going on at my house is two different things, which is really, really cool. Wow, I have this, like, I have to fight. Come on, don't, come on, Iron. Okay, you resisted. That bitch wanted to turn into that gas station. Y'all seen it? I had to fight her off. Look at this. I was going to say bye before I even got onto the damn highway here. And, oh, you know what? It's 25 through there. I should be one to go over 25 through here, because I pulled out on the street glide last. Oh, that's on video. I look up, there's nothing, because you can see up that hill a good ways from there, and nothing's coming, and huge. And not one of you made that comment that someone took a left in front of me and I dove out after he got fully past me. If you ever do that, you can't see what's coming down the road while that car is taking a left in front of you. Actually, it's a big red truck. That was a rookie mistake of me to do that, and it almost cost me, because somebody was hauling butt down that hill. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna slither this thing right here. Not even gonna worry about a parking spot. How about that? Not even gonna lock it or nothing. Ain't no country boy gonna take this thing out here. Watch me come out and the iron's gone. Anyway, I'm gonna bounce in there right quick. I'll be right back. We'll see ya. Well, hello there, YouTube. So far, I beat the rain. I'm gonna go back out this way, because there's a bunch of gravel on the other side that is probably in the form of mud right now. Well, the backpack's not gonna fly on me anymore, because she's loaded down. Look at that, it's holding off. That's looking northwest there. Mostly west. Wow. There's no way you could see this, but you wouldn't believe the birds flying out there. Wow, that is nuts. It's like a clip from the birds. So, since I'm so far so good here, I think I'm take a chance and take you guys up to the Salmon Creek, the creek that I stop at like all the freaking time. She should be raging pretty good right now. Look at that freaking Cowlitz River. Wow. Bald eagle just flew down. He's going right down the middle of the river. Big old bald eagle. Man, I'd almost like to take you guys out to the bridge. God, I would freeze trying to do that. How much time do I got here? You know what? Let's give it a shot. You guys want to try to bust this out right quick? I really want to go all the way out there. I freeze my butt off going there. Ah, what the hell. I'm still not trusting these tires. Because what gets you is they're so cold. And if there's any crap on your tires, it's like, you know, you're light and easy on them. And then that first time you push and get farther on that edge, that's when you find out if there's any crap on them. And once you're over and you slip like that, it's pretty tough to recover, especially on something slippery. Look how almost all the leaves are gone out of the trees now. Man, these wet roads have got to be just making a disaster out of this iron. And Graham, you made the comment that the old street glide didn't look that bad after the rain ride. I have to admit, I thought the same thing when I was editing through the video. The camera's not revealing. It's not horrible, don't get me wrong. But anything that's shiny on it's not shiny anymore. And like the bags and the tank and everything else has this kind of a gray, like mud look to it. But considering how much, because I cut a bunch of that rain riding out, because the video on the ride home was it was 51 minutes of video. So you guys know how I can just ramble on about nothing. I cut out the rambling about nothing out, the pointless stuff. I think it's the wind's moving that faster to the south than it is bringing it in an easterly direction, because I think that's the black cloud that was farther north there a little bit ago. I always think this is a lot closer than what it is, but when I leave there, there's a right through the water. Dadgummit. It's a little bit of a shortcut to get me out to Salmon Creek. I do want to show you Salmon Creek because it's light enough out here that because the last couple of times I've stopped, I don't think I even used it. It was too dark to show it. And I'm gonna go one step further. I usually take a right here. I'm gonna go to the next one and go down. I usually turn to go down, go around that big barn. We'll come back up that way. But this is the other entrance, the one road I tell you guys, I'm always afraid when I take that left that somebody's gonna be bombing down this hill. And then one day there was somebody bombing down the hill. I had just this weird, almost like a premonition or something that somebody was coming down. There was a couple of young guys in a Toyota Corolla or something. This always come up, take a left and go up by that old barn. But sure as hell, somebody's bombing down that hill. And I hesitated a second. Almost come to a stop before I turned. I just don't know why. Sure enough. Whew, I love it when stuff like that happens. Well, not the closeness of something happening, but when you just get this weird little vibe that today's the day I shouldn't go bombing down or flying into that left-hand turn. And sure enough. Well, it may be too muddy to drive down to the river, but that's where I'd like to take you. I think this Ford might be no, he's going. We'll see how nasty the road looks here. But this will be a good visual of it's not too bad. Just go up. Oh yeah, she's definitely high. Look at this, I can't even get close to where I normally take you. Look at that. always drive you guys out to the, you gonna stay there? Out to the end of that rock. At the end of that rock there, that's where I turn around. If you can see the little bit of grass. Oh, you see the fish jump? The little grass there, that's the edge of where it drops off. That river is up there. That's crazy. I don't know if you can see how fast that's moving, but that is scary. I was driving across one of these. Actually, that's in an upcoming, what I'm referring to as a daily vlog. Not necessarily motorcycle, just Kelly and I goofing around, and which is actually quite boring, but I don't know. You guys may find it interesting. I have no idea. But I'll post them up on that, because if they're boring, I don't want to risk. Oh, we got to go this way. There's that little dirt road that I go up every once in a while. Look at that. That's a lake too. Let's take you over here to the boat ramp. There's actually a shortcut through there, but I don't. Yeah, I get the iron stuck trying to do that. I'm not going to rock crawl on a iron 883. Let's go see what's happening at the boat ramp. When I put this backpack on, it kind of flipped my coat up. You know how you put them on, and it flipped the collar around on my coat underneath there, and it's digging in the back of my neck. Oh, look at that. I can't even take you guys nowhere down that ramp. Wow, I wonder how many feet high that thing is. That's crazy. Man, I'm not even halfway down the ramp where I normally take you. That's wicked. Look at that trail. There's a bank that goes all the way around there. Look, the trail just goes to nothing. I drove you guys around and came up this on the DR one day. Crazy. Alright, let's go see what Salmon Creek looks like. So, I've been talking to you for 18 minutes. I can't make that out. Actually, that's 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Hell. So, do you guys want to ride with me all the way there? I know you can't answer. Oh, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. It's weird how high that river is out there. And with the, the foliage falling out of the trees, I can see it so good, so it even makes it stranger yet. I'll take you guys out there. What the heck? You know what's really gonna be nice is how good that cedar mill is gonna smell. But I think by the time I make it to the cedar mill, you guys, you'll be asleep. Moss. It's crazy how that moss, it has to be sitting in the road lying in wait. Because the first time it rains, all of a sudden, here I am. You remember me, the slippery stuff? I'm back. Can you guys make out the green on the side of the road there? It's nuts. No sign of that in the summer. And it's not like the moss can grow that fast. Well, obviously it can. It's bouncing back out. God dang it, look how wet this road is. Poor old iron. But you know what? It's so rare that I can get out here and go riding that I'm willing to oh, that looks like rain right there. Uh-oh. Oh, I waited too long. Yeah, I can still beat him. He's crawling like an old farmer. Yeah, that's rain falling right there. But I think that's moving, like I say, I think it's kind of moving south now for some odd reason. A couple turns down here on Lone U, Y-E-W. We'll take our right. We'll take that little back road that I, actually, you know, I've been just kind of picking through, looking at different vlogs, because I vlog every day going to work, so I got this massive cache of videos that I got to pull from. I'll be flipping through and I go, oh, that's kind of interesting. God, there's a lot of wind. That you get just past that edge where it rolls off. It's amazing. No wind. Anyway, I kind of flipped through and put those things up, and I keep realizing, wow, I'm using videos where I'm kind of going the same place. I need to look through and try to find where I, you know, go around the backside, the different areas that I take or different routes that I take. Man, it's so nice when you get these things mapped right and you just roll off the throttle and they just go boom. Just that booming decel. No pops, no flutters. But you can get that house real cheap. That thing's been sitting there like that since yeah, it was late 08. You're not waving at me from all the way down here, are you? Oh man, if that's moving towards me, I'm in trouble. It almost looks like it is, doesn't it? Because that is full on rain. Where's my turn off here? I always find myself, of course, you know, like, look at all the, like, recent videos I've driven through here, but the videos are like almost 2 months old, some of them. And you guys probably see me coming through the same area going, oh, well, that's a different place. Wait a minute, that's the same place. There just ain't no damn green or leaves left anywhere. I get asked so often if the Iron would be a good bike for different size, and more often than not, I get asked if it would be a good beginner's bike. There couldn't be a better beginner's bike. The only drawback to the Iron is it is a heavy motorcycle. I mean, what is it, 556 pounds or something is a dry weight. I forget what the running weight is. Or maybe that is a running weight, I don't remember. It is a heavy bike, but it's so, man, can you see all the mosses on that road? That is crazy. But the weight is, you know, it's typical for a Harley. The weight is very, very low. So if, you know, if you go into a dealership, just pick it up off the side stand. That thing's leaning at an angle. A heavy motorcycle, when you pull it off the side stand, if you literally blow a sphincter gasket when you take it off, that is a motorcycle that's not very forgiving if you lose your footing or something as you come to a stop, which seems to be the most common thing a new rider will do, is they'll kind of, you know, stumble along and kind of lose their footing a little bit and lean over a little bit, and they got to pick the bike back up. You get this thing too far, and yeah, you're gonna feel all that weight, and you're not gonna stop it. And depending on how strong of a person you are, it may be a safer thing to just let the thing softly plump on the ground. Don't try to, I mean, you can literally, you know, get a hernia trying to stop one of these things once they start going. Somebody racing around in a gray FJ Cruiser. My daily vlog that's going to go on the Smokes channel, I talk extensively about my FJ Cruiser or the circumstances around it. Alright, you ready for it? She's definitely going to look different out here today. I drive by here, I stop, looks the same, looks the same, looks the same. Oh my God. And then all of a sudden she don't look the same. Holy shit. I think one of the last times I stopped, I talk about how that thing normally flows out of there, and you can barely tell that the water's even moving because it was disturbing the main water coming through here. Yeah, geez, kind of borderline flood stage right there. My glasses keep fogging up. Man, look at that. So you think them Jersey barriers, do you think they're planted there in any way? I mean, I know I'm not a small guy, but you know, you see the ridge side on this, and it's just, these things are literally just laying here, aren't they? So when I lean with all my weight on this thing, I visualize that thing toppling over. I am not going to do that anymore. But what I was going to say, before I realized this Jersey barrier is just literally sitting on the side of the bridge. This thing is not anchored down. But look at that water churning right there. That's them undertows and whatnot. They'll just woof, suck your ass under. Look at that. I literally can't see. All right. Where's my ring cloud now? Wow, this is really cool out here. Well, hello there, Iron. My long lost little buddy. She ain't too bad. I'm kicking up some stuff. I'm probably getting my new Can-Am backpack all race striped on the back there. Alright, so let's whiz by the cedar mill, get a good whiff of it, and we'll call it a day. Get up here and look at this creek right quick. I'm going to try to look at it from where it goes underneath that bridge. Look at that. Is that beautiful or what? And the river ran through it. Oop, there's a car coming. Beautiful. Always wonder, you know, people that live out here and me goofing around, like to that guy behind me, he's probably thinking I'm looking up that guy's driveway. I don't know why I think of stuff like that. I always wonder, is that guy casing that dude's house out? Because that may be something I would do. I see you lurking around, and that's not a good thing. I mean, they have no idea that I live in this area, and I, in no way, shape, or form would ever harm your property or your belongings. But you see some guy on a loud black motorcycle wearing mostly black clothing, a black helmet. You know, I know that's profiling, but it's human nature to profile. If you see some, you know, poorly dressed, homeless looking guy roaming around your house, you're going to get really suspicious. You know, it could be, I mean, look how Steve Jobs dressed. I mean, he could be one of the richest men on the planet. And you just profiled that guy. But that's the way we are. It's the human condition. Bye, George. I'm going to make it home without getting, well, motorcycle's getting wet, but I'm not going to get wet. The old Serengeti. She don't look so Serengeti-ish. Grass all turning green out there, the fall leaves in the background. You're going, yep, that's not something you'd see on the Serengeti. Oh, this is going to smell fantastic. That night I'm really getting cold. Yeah, looks like it's about 45 it's showing. That is insane how intense that smell. Oh, you have no idea. That's incredible how intense that is when it gets wet and damp out. Whew. That made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Wow. I can never get enough of that. As you well know, for the last 3 years I drive by that stupid thing. I love that nice clean diesel. And I could probably beat it, but oh yeah, I could have beat him by a mile. My freaking shield fogged up so I couldn't. Is he turning? I don't think he's turning. Yeah, we're slowing down enough, he's turning. Alrighty. So even in the, well, it's not freezing, but it's pretty cold. But even the cold, nasty, I can't say it's nasty, the roads are just wet. Nice enough I went for a ride. But in the colder winter type weather, I still end up taking you down the same track of road here to say goodbye. Ooh, that was a pretty, did you see down that gravel road and laced with the leaves that are falling out of the trees? That looked awesome. But anyway, I am going to let you go because I need to ride with my shield up, but that's too loud to vlog on because it's fogging up. But I appreciate you guys coming out for the Sunday ride. Probably going to be a longer than usual vlog, but hey, it's wintertime. It'll give you something to sit down and chew on the fat for a little bit. But thank you guys very much for coming along, and we'll talk to you whenever I can on a motorcycle. But thanks for coming along. You guys take care now. Bye bye.